Hello friends, my name is Michelle Fondin and I'm the author of The Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda, an easy guide to a healthy lifestyle. Did you know my book is also in Spanish and Portuguese and Italian and Chinese? But look, La Rueda Medicinal del Ayurveda. For my Spanish-speaking audience, I hope I pronounced that well. You can get this now in the United States in Spanish or all around the world in the Spanish-speaking world. I'm sure anywhere in South America. And, of course, Spain. I have one more bit of show and tell really quickly. The Wheel of Healing Companion Workbook. So a lot of the principles I'm talking about in eating for your specific dosha are in the Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda Companion Workbook. Today we're going to talk about eating for Pitta Dosha. And my question for you today is, what foods have you found balance your Pitta Dosha? Now, of course, as a little reminder, the Pitta Dosha is comprised of the elements of water and fire, or fire and water. It doesn't matter which order you put them in, but it's important to know that Pitta is comprised of tejas and jala in Sanskrit. Eating for a Pitta is sometimes counterintuitive, especially if you are experiencing a Pitta imbalance. So Pitta types are medium build. They have a very strong appetite and very strong digestion, and you might have already noticed this about yourself. Pitta types can eat a large quantity of food and drink, and they often do. Sometimes, however, they abuse of their strong digestive fire, which is called Agni in Sanskrit. So they have a very strong digestive fire, and sometimes they abuse of it by eating the wrong foods or eating too much food, which can also happen and can lead to things like indigestion, heartburn, irritable bowel syndrome, and weight gain, which is very unfavorable, especially for a Pitta type, because they are big on appearances and how the physical body looks. Eating for a Pitta type is sometimes, as I mentioned, a little bit counterintuitive. Especially when a Pitta is out of balance, they're going to gravitate a lot more toward hot, spicy foods. And that's exactly what you don't want to eat if you're trying to balance the Pitta Dosha. And of course, when your dosha is in balance, you can eat a little bit of every type of food and every type of food category. But if you are out of balance, if you're an out of balance Pitta, in this case, if you're experiencing those symptoms that I mentioned before, or you're experiencing irritability, being overly critical, angry, and not taking the time for yourself, then you might be experiencing those Pitta imbalances, and it's best to try and balance Pitta out first through food. There are 6 tastes in Ayurveda, as I mentioned in prior videos, and in my books you can look at the table of the 6 tastes. For a Pitta type, you want to focus on sweet, bitter, and astringent tastes. Now, one thing you want to reduce if you are a Pitta type are peppers and peppery types of foods. Those include black pepper, cayenne pepper, jalapenos, curry or hot curry, and you want to also reduce fried foods, hot spicy fried foods especially, and hot or heating foods like peanut butter, which are heavy in oil but are also a little bit more heating. Foods you want to focus a lot more on are sweet fruits, such as sweet mangoes, really ripe fruits, but think about like dates and figs. You want to focus on sweet and bitter veggies such as avocados, cilantro, broccoli, and cucumbers. You want to focus on grains such as oats and barley. And most legumes are okay because legumes such as beans, lentils, they tend to have a bitter and or astringent taste to them. So it's okay for you to eat those in the category of sweet, bitter, and astringent. Now, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to the quantity of food that you're eating, especially if you're trying to lose weight as a Pitta type. Since you have such a strong digestive fire, it can be easy to overeat. And one of the ways you can counteract this is by eating a little bit more slowly, just taking it down a notch. I know as a Pitta type, you're ready to get on to your next goal, and eating is not part of that goal, even though it's a necessity for you. I totally understand that. If you have a Pitta child or a Pitta spouse, you want to make sure that you're feeding that Pitta child or spouse on time. They can get very irritable and grouchy if you do not feed them on time. And on time, I mean exactly at mealtime. The digestive fire is highest between the hours of noon and 2 p.m. So make sure they're getting a nice hearty lunch. Otherwise, you will hear the consequences after that in the way of a lot of criticism. They might be angry and upset, and you don't want to deal with that. So make sure that you're feeding them on time. And if you're a Pitta type, make sure you're eating on time. I know you get caught up in your projects, but make sure you're taking the time to eat and that you have a meal plan in place so that when you get to your destination, whether it be your lunchbox or at home or a restaurant, that you want to make sure that you have your food when you want it, when your body actually needs it. Thanks so much for joining me. Leave a comment below. Let me know, what is your favorite Pitta pacifying food? And please subscribe to my channel. Share this video with friends, family, and your dog. Please support me on Patreon. The link is below. You can donate $1 a month, $3 a month, $5 a month. If you love these videos, buy a book, and I will see you in the next video.